Hi, I'm Reb Myron. I'm a minister through Pathways of Light, and I've been a Course in Miracles student for 44 years. I'm going through the lessons again this year, asking Jesus for clarity, and then I write from that clarity, and that's what I'm sharing with you today. Today, my backdrop was created by ChatGPT. Okay, so we're looking at lesson 109, I Rest in God. We're given such a gift in this lesson. First, let me tell you that the ego was girded for battle before I even read it. I read it distractedly. I put off writing, something I generally look forward to. It fiercely resists this simple and healing lesson because it is so effective in releasing us from it, from the ego. As soon as I finally began reading, my mind filled with thoughts of personal failures, moments when I was frustrated, resentful, and afraid. I felt disheartened, and a wave of hopelessness, far out of proportion to anything that had actually happened, threatened to crush me under its weight. I just sat and cried for a while. This sounds perfectly awful, and it felt that way, but actually, it was good news. The ego doesn't put up such a strong defense unless it feels truly threatened. That realization dispelled its influence. The darkness simply dissipated. This is the reason I write. Without the grounding influence of putting my thoughts on paper, emotion can unmoor me and I can get lost in it, forgetting my purpose. But as I wrote, I saw how absurd the ego's dark thoughts were and came out from under its demoralizing trance. The ego is not reacting to what is happening in the world, but to the quiet threat of being undone in my mind. In this lesson, the Holy Spirit's offering us not so much a practice or a teaching, but an experience. Our rest in God invites us into the holy stillness where nothing real is threatened and nothing unreal exists. After weathering the ego storm I just experienced, taking a few minutes to regroup and then sinking into that inner sanctuary was just such a relief. I felt a familiar, welcome wave of gratitude and love wash through me. After all the drama the ego put me through and the emotional aftermath, you might be wondering who I murdered. But no, it was much more mundane sins. I felt resentment toward my son for not being more present, more helpful. I felt uneasy about something I said to a friend. I worried about an unsolved situation, and the ego kept poking at me, trying to force action through a sense of urgency. The ego's all about woe is me and do something about it. Its solutions often don't help. And even when they seem to, the relief is temporary before another problem arises. Believing its litany of complaints and fear mongering is how we avoid our own salvation. Resting in God is how we accept it. The ego wants always wants to move on to the next thing. It resists these rests, insisting that we can rest after certain things are resolved. But here's the truth. When we give a few minutes to God and simply rest in love and certainty, the mind aligns with truth, and this is power. In the text, Jesus tells us this. The mind that serves the Holy Spirit is unlimited forever in all ways, beyond the laws of time and space, unbound by any preconceptions, and with strength and power to do whatever it is asked. That comes from chapter 15, section 6, paragraph 1, sentence 4. The ego will never approve of this rest because it sees it as a threat, and it is. This kind of rest undoes ego entirely. What I just read to you is what I wrote last year. I kept it because it's such a good example of the ego work in the mind and its determination to distract us from awakening. This morning, when I read this being a day of resting in God, my heart opened to it gladly. The first paragraph is especially relevant to the present political environment. We seem to have never expressed a belief in separation so strongly as we are now. Our country seems to be at war both within and without. And I personally have experienced the effects of this at times within my mind and other times in my relationships. But my saving grace is that I know what it is for. And so I practice forgiveness and love. So this morning, as I read paragraph 1, I felt my heart soar in happiness. It says, we ask for rest today in quietness, unshaken by the world's appearances. We ask for peace and stillness in the midst of all the turmoil born of clashing dreams. We ask for safety and for happiness, although we seem to look on danger and on sorrow. And we have the thought that will answer our asking with what we request. I rest in God and let it awaken the sleeping truth in me. And I share that with everyone who comes to mind and with those I don't think of or even know. I share it with the sonship through the one mind. And if a troubled relationship enters my awareness, I allow the power of this decision to spread a healing balm to heal that relationship. As I think of the war and other conflicts in the news, I rest in God, and my mind finds peace and safety. And not just for my mind. He tells us, you will be faithful to your trust today, forgetting no one, bringing everyone into the boundless circle of your peace, the holy sanctuary where you rest. I feel such joy right now, and I look forward to sharing this joy with the world today as I take time to rest in God as I go through my day. And so today, I will not try to solve the world's problems. I will rest in God and let that rest be the answer. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you found this helpful. If you did, then please like it. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. And if you feel like leaving a comment, oh, please do. I love to read the comments. And I'll be back soon with another reading. See you then.